The interlinkages, I think, between macroeconomic policies do matter, but if you want to resurrect the EM growth story, there's a lot of work that EM economies themselves have to do.
We have 7.2 billion consumers in the world. 71% of US GDP is consumption. 37% of Chinese GDP is consumption. So we need to understand how consumers are evolving and changing.
Demographics, GDP, income growth, the structure of economic growth, and price subsidies to the end user are all supporting levels of oil demand growth in the emerging markets. And really we think, and most other analysts think, all the growth in oil demand going forward is going to be coming from the emerging markets.
Over the next 10 years, you're going to have consumers in high growth markets, consuming goods made in high growth markets, produced by companies that are incorporated and often listed in high growth markets, effectively what somebody called earlier a South-South trade flow.
I ended up with more than $1 billion under management, up 800%, the best performing fund in the world in 1997. I was featured on the front page of the business section of the New York Times, and 32 years old. By any measure, was probably the biggest sell signal you could ever have that the Russian market was about to crash. What kind of risks are you taking in frontier markets? And you definitely take much bigger risks in frontier markets than you take in emerging markets or developed markets. Frontier markets are by definition sort of lesser of the lesser developed countries. And in a country that's lesser or lesser developed, one day they can be capitalist and market oriented, and the next day there can be a change in government and they decide they're not.
Someone's trying to find their next Russia, someone's trying to find their next China. Hopefully Africa is able to deliver on some of its promises, and I'm confident that it will.
Because growth for its own sake is not really what we're concerned about. We're really concerned about improving standards of living for the Chinese. How is it possible that a country with such a poor rule of law is the most attractive place for foreign investment?